So you're never going to wear dresses or heels again? Is that your discovery? Is that what you're going to tell me? So are you shaming me for doing it?
No.
Please. Court said, she looked at me and she just said she's never going to.
No, I said it to Kim too. Of course, they're being defensive. I just said, you guys might shame me and say, I'm never going to wear flats and a baggy jacket.
This is part 2 in my requested series, The Narcissism of the Kardashians. And let me just first say that you guys have really sent me into a swamp here, and there's a lot of different characters. But fortunately, there's a lot of examples of narcissism. And this one is particularly interesting. It starts with Kourtney Kardashian kind of making this announcement that she's no longer going to do the tight dresses and the super high heels. She's going to do baggy jackets and sweats, and she kind of infers that, you know, it's just part of her maturing phase. But she's also making a specific dig at Khloe because they both have very young kids. And there's been other instances where she's talked about what's appropriate for being a mother, and, you know, that she needs this apparel because it's more appropriate for breastfeeding their child and stuff like that. So you can see that Khloe is especially taken aback by this and feeling offended by it, because the tone is certainly like, you know, she's making this announcement to the two of them, and in a tone that kind of says, elevates herself, and similar to what a covert narcissist does. You know, they try to elevate themselves and degrade another person. And Kim and Khloe react. You know, they're like, what are you getting at? Are you trying to shame us for what we're doing? And then Kourtney reacts to this separately, saying that, yeah, you know, as expected, they're just trying to be defensive. So she is reducing what they're saying, which is a legitimate complaint as far as how she delivered it, and she's calling it defensiveness. So we've got 2 incidences of a narcissistic behavior where she is reframing what was a legitimate response as just being defensive. And that's similar to some of the other examples I've given in terms of a joke where you're trying to slam somebody and you kind of turn it into a joke. And then when that person calls them on it, they say, oh, come on, I was just joking. So it's kind of like a doubly offensive type situation. Anyway, it continues, and there's a little bit of a further discussion about this. And then Kourtney says, well, I'm just worried, you know, what are you guys going to do? You're going to start saying that, oh, you know, I would never wear a baggy jacket. I would never wear sweats, you know, in a way to shame me. And she says, you know, you guys going to turn around and shame me? And this is an indirect admission that was her intent, that her intent was to shame them. And she's thinking that, oh, you're going to shame me back? This also happens with covert narcissists, and this is the kind of thing to look for. You know, when tensions are high or when there's a lot of back and forth, they will sometimes slip up, and you'll actually see them kind of admitting to their narcissism indirectly or directly. So this was a good clip because there is a lot of different arrays of narcissism, and then there's this incident of the narcissist actually exposing themselves.